Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and I put out a new program the other day that brought quite a few questions. And rather than discuss just my specific program, let's discuss a little bit about understanding that when you're programming programs for novices and intermediates, there's an expectation that they're going to get stronger throughout the program over the weeks, and there is the expectation that you need to adapt them to the program initially. You don't know what sort of program, when you write something that's going to be used for a wide variety of people, what they just followed, what sort of program immediately before. They may not be used to doing particularly high or low reps. So you need transition periods that are universal to everyone. And when I put up my program, a few athletes have already started it and discussed with me issues, and a couple of coaches have looked at it and come back to me and said, hey, I see some problems here. The problem is that some of these coaches, while they are my friends, they are a bit less experienced with the iron game. Some of them have only been coaching people a year, 2 years tops. So they don't really understand some of these finer points, and they're not realizing this program is for novices, not ranked novices who are completely green, but novices and intermediates. And again, we're talking about the linear program I put out the other day. And when you do a program like that, what people need to understand is that since it's starting with fairly high reps, not everyone is used to doing high reps on squats and deadlifts and big, heavy, full body movements like that. If they've been doing 3 to 5 reps and they go into this program, that first week, which might seem really light to a lot of people, they're going to struggle with, they're going to flounder, they're going to have problems doing 3 sets of 10. Case in point, I've already had 2 guys come to me who started it, and they're saying they're having incredible DOMs, and 2 others have said it seemed really easy because they were doing high reps and the others were only doing low reps up to that point. Now, what some people don't like is that the week 6, which is kind of the last week, and for some people it's going to be an overreaching week before the deload, a couple of coaches are like, hey, you've got 85% with 3 sets of 5 on deadlifts, and they're doing it 3 times in that week. No one's going to be able to handle that. And you're right. If it was a true 85%, people wouldn't generally get away with being able to do that. However, in a program like this, when you're dealing with a novice or an intermediate, they will be able to do it. And it's not because of the percentages, it's because the percentages are wrong. Those were only your percentages in the first week. You're using those same percentages based upon your start at the beginning of the 6-week program on something like that. People are going to get bigger and they are going to get stronger throughout the 6 weeks. They're going to gain quite a bit of hypertrophy and size through the first 4 weeks through the progressive overload of increasing the weight, a total of 15% with relatively high volume. They're going to get stronger with that newly gained muscle and gain a little more muscle on week 5. They're going to start turning it into more strength. And then when you increase the weight, another 5% on week 6. That 85% for the novice might actually only be 75%, and for an intermediate lifter might only be 80%. Well, people can generally do 3 sets of 5 with 75 to 80% even on a squat or a deadlift. So that's what people need to understand. When you're writing a program, you need to factor in how much are people going to adapt along the way of the program and how are you going to get them there. It shouldn't be that you are basing percentages and numbers upon where people start. You're basing things upon transitioning them into something, and then when you are getting to different phases of a program, you are doing so under the impression that they have made adaptations and changes and gotten bigger or stronger or both throughout the duration of the program. So it's not as straightforward as, oh, you can't do 3 sets of 5 with 85% on deadlifts 3 days in a week. Well, you can if it's no longer 85% because that's where you were 6 weeks ago when you started, but you've been on a progressive overload program up through then that's put a lot of size on you. So hopefully things like that start to make more sense when you guys are looking at how can you program stuff for your clients or your athletes or even for yourself. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.